I came to the woods because I wished to live deliberately. Do you know who said that? That's the first line of Walden. It's the first part of the first paragraph, first sentence actually. I came to the woods because I wished to live deliberately. He says because I wanted to face the essentials of life, this life in its simplest form, and to see if there were lessons there so that when he died, he didn't have to discover that he never really lived. Simplify, that was another big word for him. He even had a sign, I think, in his house, simplify. Not a bad idea. We could all do that. Put it on our computer, on the refrigerator door. Simplify. Where I am now is called the Appleby Road. Not because there's a restaurant here, but because the Appleby family lived here. Look at this. You could say, oh, look at that destruction. Look at that destruction. It's not destruction. It's clear. It's not clear cutting. It's selective cutting of trees. It's actually very good. This used to be full of cottontail rabbits when I was young, this area, and it will be again. And that's the reason. It's not the reason for the selective cutting, but it's a byproduct of it. It's an extremely healthy thing to do for a forest. And, you know, see what it does is it clears out, let me throw this away, clears out areas so new life can come up, grasses and plants, and the little cottontails can move back in here again. This area right here and part of Maine, I'm sad to say, are one of the last strongholds of the New England cottontail bunny. Really tragic. They used to be all around. Well, they're still here. But so of course when they come, foxes come, predators, and the big cycle, the cycle of life. But let me show you the Applebee's. I don't know how many of you who live out west or in the Midwest have these, but they're all through New England. It's called a cellar hole. And this was the Appleby house. This is the foundation of the house. This would have been probably the fireplace would have been up there. So this was the center of the house. We always thought that this part here might have been where they rolled barrels down into the cellar. This would have been the root cellar. You know, it occurs to me as I look at this camera that I'm starting to look like Thoreau. or more like Walt Whitman. Those 19th century long-haired hippie types. Fantastic. I'm happy with that. I don't care. Simplify, simplify. Can you imagine telling the Applebee's that? Simplify. And they're like, how much more simple can I get? This wasn't brutal, simple. This was brutal. Imagine the winters up here. Just that one isolated house. And something else you see in New England. Here they are. There's Holly Appleby. He died in November 1865. You'd think maybe he was in the Civil War, but old Holly was 75 years old. There's his wife, Mary. Mary died August 26, 1866, age 73 years, 4 months. And here's Levi. Levi is one of the sons. He died in 1835, age 42. And Caleb, son of Holly and Mary Appleby, died 1863. So, poor old Levi died long before his parents. And you know what? Caleb died before his parents too, so poor Holly and Mary were left alone. You know, you can find some seriously tragic stories in old cemeteries. And yet even at a place like the Applebee's, there's a little bit of... I came up there with a friend of mine's nephew, must have been 11 or 12, and he gazed at those 4 headstones, very thoughtful, and finally asked, puzzled, who buried the last one? What a relief. I thought they were flying monkeys. Simplify. Simplify, simplify. Go to the woods. Wherever the woods are. They can be the ocean, they can be the desert, they can be the woods, they can be someplace away from others where you can live deliberately and face the essentials of life, the bare simplicities of life, so that when the end comes, you don't find out that you never really lived at all. But that, you know who's the most guilty of this? Not simplifying. Yeah. Clutter, stuff, things. How do we get so many things? So that's going to be my mid-September resolution. Simplify. Simplify.